Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. So why should we attend a Vedanta class? Oh, I had to bring my children and they won't allow me unless I also attend. Is that the reason? The question is always, what's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? So why do I need to know? What's the purpose of life? I know what's the purpose of life. Go to office, earn money, enjoy maja. Is that all? The millions of people are living in this world. You know, in the Mahabharata, I don't know if you heard of Yaksha Prashnas. Have you heard of that? Okay. Dharmaraj was asked questions by Yaksha because all his brothers did not answer. They tried to drink water and they all collapsed. And he also was ready to drink water, but Acharya says, if you drink water without answering my questions, you will also collapse like your brothers. He says, what questions? Please tell me. So there are a lot of questions, and one of the questions is, what's the greatest wonder in the world? We have 7 wonders. You know, Taj Mahal, this and all that. Is that the wonders we are talking about? What is the greatest wonder of all in the world? And Dharmaraj answers, we see people being born every day, every second, every minute, people are being born somewhere in the world. And we see people also dying after life. So they see people is born, journey and die. Gurudev used to say, if you go to cemetery, all you see is date of birth, date of expiry. In between, a dash. So his words are, from the womb to the tomb, they are only dashing. That's all it is. We should hear that kind of words. Yet, Dharmaraj says, the wonder is, people think they are going to live here forever. Trying to accumulate this is mine, that's mine, that's mine. One day they have to leave everything. So if I have time, once I'll teach you how to die every time. As a meditation. Every second. But this is the real wonder. The question is, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. Krishna says in that, whoever is born has to die. No exceptions. Including Krishna also. So what is that I have accomplished in life? What is the purpose of life? Oh, I had to get promotion, I had to make millions, I had to do this. Oh, you can give left my granddad, great-grandchildren also get married and settle. People can have all sorts of goals in life. Is that all? Start thinking, what is life? You know, what is life? We cannot really define. You're all alive, I suppose. Are you? Yeah. But yet, we don't know what life is. How do you know I'm alive? Because I can talk. I can respond to the stimulus. Even doctor will tell whether he's alive or not only because he's responding to, he's breathing, he's doing something, responding to the stimulus. If he doesn't respond, he says he's gone. He's in coma or he can't. But what exactly is life? In all our languages, we say, what do we say when he dies? Mar Gaya. Right? In Telugu, I know, Chachipoyinadu. That means he's born. Chachipoyinadu means he left. He left the body. Gaya. Where did he go? Why did he leave? And that's what Arjuna's problem also. That's why he was crying. Why? Thinking that his grandsire and his this one, they're all going to die. That's how Gita Upadesam started, because of Arjuna trying to cry because somebody is going to die. The one whom he likes. And he is the cause for the death also. That is the second problem. So, we are only temporarily visitors here, right? So, what is that we want to accomplish in this life? Worth living? That is a question that one should ask oneself. As soon as I get up from the bed, whole day is presented to me in a silver plate. What is that I'm going to do today? That's worth for me for living in this. So what is life? When you say Mar Gaya, the body is there but he is not there. There is something extra that makes the body alive. And without that, it is just like a matter lying down. Bhaya bibyati tasmin kaye. And in this country, the police make sure that the body is taken out immediately. So it's not the body because he left, because the body is no more useful. That's how Krishna starts. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Just as he leaving the old clothes, he went in search of a new cloth that fits him. In this loka or in another loka. So what is that very purpose of my life itself is a question that should be asked for intelligent people. So what is the purpose of life? If you ask everybody, one central purpose that Vedantin came out, universal purpose, is everyone is looking for only one thing in life. Can you guess what it is? Happiness. They want to be happy. Which means they are concluded they are not happy as it is. That's a basic. That's why they want to be happy means they are not happy as a. You know what's real happiness is? I come from Madras. First thing in the morning, good hot cup of coffee, Madras coffee. That's real happiness. Is that? Because without cup of coffee, life is miserable. So what is happiness? Cup of coffee. In the morning, first thing, Madras cup, not any other coffee. Sir, one more cup of happiness? No, thank you. I have it. Already finished. No, this is happiness. One more cup. I may tolerate the second, even Madras coffee. I may tolerate second cup. Third cup, believe me, it's going to be miserable. Even though that's a cup of happiness. There is no happiness in cup of coffee. I gave a value to it and I want it and therefore I have it. It's not there. Happiness coming only because my mind, which is agitated for a cup of coffee, is now calm and quiet, serene, because it has coffee. It's happy. Coffee brought my mind no more wanting, no more desiring, no more longing. Mind is calm and quiet, peaceful, contented as it is, until of course I want idli also. Another desire. So I am going after, I want this for me to be happy, because without it I am miserable, with it only I am happy, but when it comes, I am happy? No. I want something else to keep. I am always longing, desiring for something or something to make me happy. When will I say, now I have everything, that I am happy? So in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a happiness scale also. If you go to Taittiriya Upanishad, and how do you define scale? Because if I want to measure something, I need a scale. It says this is much is 1 inch, a standard. So I can measure so many inches, that is a scale. So how do you measure happiness? So our masters also came up with a scale also. A person who owns the whole world and young enough to digest anything he eats and enjoys, his happiness is 1 unit. Not just one small country or anything, or one house in Fairfax County. No. Whole world. And not in a, there if you eat it, you cannot digest that food, you cannot enjoy it. It's not that he's young enough to enjoy every sense object. His happiness is 1 unit. And it goes on. The next level fellow has 100 times more happy than this guy. You can read the Ananda scale there. Like that, another fellow is 100 times more than this guy, second fellow. All the way up to Brahmaji, there are almost like 13 steps. So that fellow's happiness is 10 to the power of 26 times the happiness of this one fellow unit. But he is not happy still. Everyone is looking for happiness. And nobody will get it. Because it's not something to get. It's something to understand that happiness is not out there. I'm searching for happiness, trying to find this, but I cannot. I'm searching in a place where it's not there. Not only this life, same thing happened in the last life, and last before last, and all the way, all life after life after life, pending, searching for eternal, infinite happiness that I can never find it by any means. That's the conclusion of Vedanta. So Ananda is the one that I am looking for. Why? Because, number one, I am an existent entity and I am a conscious entity. Chair doesn't look for Ananda. Table is not looking for Ananda. Otherwise it will protest, we are sitting on top of the chair. But I am looking for Ananda. Every life is going after. So one day I saw, when I got up in the morning, I saw in my house, it was summertime, a row of ants going all the way in my house. So I said, why are they going like that? And I saw, oh, they are coming all the way from outside, and in a systematically, like a military discipline, they are going. So where are they going? I tried to go to see what is because they are going like round and round and round, and found out that they are all the way going up into the kitchen sink, all the way up, because last night I left some sweet near the sink. I told them, hey, there is a straight path, why are you going all around? They didn't care for me. They followed their own path. Why? Because there is some sweet. That is Ananda for them. How did they find out? It's a wonder. Because these things are really mind-boggling for me, because how did they come all the way from outside to a sweet on sink somewhere? How did they came to know? And going like that just to grab that. We are all doing the same thing. We came all the way in search of happiness from India, some of people. Dinayaminyau sayam prataha shashiravasanto punarayataha kala kridati gachatvayu. Day in comes, day goes. Morning rush, getting up, rush. Forward. In search of happiness. After come back, tired, watch TVs, lie down. Again, same thing. That's why it says this is the same problem, on and on. So what should I do? How do I become that happiness that I am, or how do I get that infinite, inexhaustible happiness that I am searching for all the time? Vedanta says there is a way. It says, you are the very source of happiness. If I am the source of happiness, why am I looking for? That's the question. Why are you looking for? So there are three pursuits in life, fundamental pursuits according to Vedanta. One is that I want to be eternal. And I want to also be knowledgeable. And third, I want to be happy. These are the three fundamental pursuits. Everybody wants to live forever. old man, he was almost like 100 years ago, every day praying, oh Lord, when are you going to take me? I don't want to live anymore. If the Lord Yama comes and says, okay, madam, I heard you want to go, come, let's go. Oh, tomorrow I will come, not today. He doesn't want to live. One more day. Nobody wants to cease to exist. And Krishna says, why are you crying? That's how the Gita Upanishad starts. Asocyan anvasochatvam. Because gata asuna gata asumsyan anusochanti panditaha. Wise people won't cry. Only you are the one who is crying, because for those people who are dead or who are going to die, there are only two currents. Gata asuna gata asumsyan. Na anusochanti panditaha. They don't cry because what dies is only body. They never die. Atvevaham jatunasam natvam nemi janadipaha. Nataiva nabhavishyama. There is no never a time I was not there, never a time you were not there, never a time all these kings were not there. They are eternal. What is that eternal? Everybody is dying, you just now said. So it's not the body death, is not the death, real death. Something else. I had to find out who that I am. For that only, we need to come to Chinmaya Mission. Now, how am I going to find out? By attending Chinmaya Mission? No. By studying scriptures. How does scriptures help me? It tells you how to look yourself. I'll give you an example. When you are sitting in a pitch dark room, I ask you, can you see a chair? Is there a chair in the table in that room? What would you say? I can't see anything. It's too dark. I don't know chair exists or it doesn't exist. So existence or non-existence of a chair is, in the scientific the language is indeterminate. Agree? Why? I cannot see. Why? It's too dark. Agree? If I turn the light on, then I can see whether the chair is there or not. Because chair doesn't say I am there. I have to see to prove the existence, or if the chair is not there, its non-existence, I have to prove its existence or non-existence. Why? It was too dark otherwise. Even if you turn the light on, I have to still see in that light. So light only illumines the chair for me to see. Right? It's a simple common sense. Now let me ask you one question. How do you know it's dark? What do you mean, how do I know? It's dark, I can see. Just now you said you cannot see anything. How can you see darkness? Oh, in what light I can see it's dark? Think about it. Also, when you are sitting in the pitch dark room, I ask you, are you there? Chair you won't answer, right? Whether chair is there or not. It's called 50% probability. Even if you solve Schrodinger equation, there's also called, if you go to Google and ask, there's a Schrodinger's cat problem. Okay, it's the same thing. Is the cat alive or dead after radiation? They solve the problem, they say it's a half dead, half died, because 50 probability that it's dead or off is 50%. There are only two choices. So how do you solve the problem? Put a conscious entity also in the room. Conscious entity may know, but how do you know? He has to communicate to you. So that's for another Wagner phrase, put series of conscious entities. Still, problem cannot be solved. But if I ask you in the pitch dark room, are you there? Oh, I don't know, I don't see anything, I cannot see anything, I don't know whether I'm here or not. Can you say that? I know I am there. But you said you cannot see anything. How do you see yourself? I don't need to see myself to know I am there. I am there because I am there. Isn't it true? I don't need any means for me to do. Means is called pramana. I don't need any pramana, means to know that I am there. I am self-existing and self-conscious entity. Clear? Okay, one more question. Can you see this cup? Everybody? You can see? How can you see? Are you sure? Can you see? Red cup? You all can see, right? Okay, I'm going to prove that you are not seeing the cup. Because in the pitch dark room, if I lift it, can you see the cup? You can say, I don't see. Because it's too dark. I need a light. Clear? So for me to see this cup, I need a light. And still I say you are not seeing the cup. What you are seeing is only light falling on the cup, reflected by the cup, reaching your retina, forming an image in your retina, which is transmitted by optical nervous system into charges, neurons. And then I see cup. How do you see? You only neurons there. How do you see cup? You're all computer guys. Right? Charges are not. Charges have to be converted into plus minus signs they are. Into software, you need a program language. Right? Without program code. So the Lord has put in a program code in everybody's brain to convert this so-called gross things into a subtle, a thought process in the mind. So what you see, go back, not the cup, reflected light, image forming, the image in the form of a light shades is the one that is transmitted in the form of a thought. Now, what else has happened? How do I see thought? Again, the light has to illumine, just as the light is required to illumine the chair, light has to illumine the thought for me to see the thought. Because thought is not conscious entity. Just as chair is not a conscious entity. So light of consciousness beaming through as the thought rises, I see in that light, I become conscious of the thought. Follow? So, because where is the light of consciousness? I am the light of consciousness that illumines every thought that rises in the mind. Clear? Now one more, back to my cup. When said light is falling on the cup, can you see the light? If I remove the cup there, can you see the light where the cup was? No. So two things. I need light to see the cup. Right? But I need cup to recognize the presence of the light where the cup is. Follow this. Simple but very profound. I cannot see the light. I can only see reflected light. Got it? Apply the same thing to the consciousness. I cannot see myself, but I am consciousness. I can only see reflected consciousness. By reflecting, I don't know, how do we know there is light here in this room? Everything there, oh, there's a lot, the room is lighted. How do I know? Reflected light is coming. From that, I know there is an original light. Same way, by reflected consciousness, I recognize the presence of the consciousness which I cannot see. Clear? So, who realizes what? According to Vedanta, consciousness is infinite. Prajnanam Brahma, that's one of the Mahavakyas. Consciousness is infinite. We'll come back. Why, there are things in not consciousness. How can it be infinite, you will ask, I know. So his existence is infinite. That's called Sat and Chit. And Ananda means infinite. All are called Brahman. Such way in the Taittiriya Upanishad, first definition given is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Just same as Satchit Ananda. Ananda is Anantameva Ananda. Brahman that cannot be defined, Vedanta tries to define as an indicatory definition. It's not a definition, it's only pointing for us to think in that direction. So consciousness is infinite, and infinite can be seen. It's all pervading. Then what exactly, when I say I am conscious entity, everybody says I am conscious entity, right? Are you conscious entities? You are. And limited conscious entity, which is different from other fellow and other fellow and all that. And you are saying consciousness is infinite? Your reflected consciousness. Reflected by the subtle material called mind. Mind includes mind, intellect, and two other things, ahankara, and we will learn slowly. That's called subtle body. Has a capacity to reflect. So, by very reflecting process, it acts as though it is a conscious entity. Just like when I look on a full moon night, I see big luminous moon in the sky, but moon is not luminous. But it became a luminous entity by reflecting the sunlight. True? Same way, subtle body, by reflecting, called Chidabhasa, it acting as though a conscious entity, as though, just as moon is acting as though a luminous entity in the sky, and moon start thinking, I am self-conscious entity, suppose. It's not the pure consciousness, it has nothing to do with this. It's only reflected consciousness. But the consciousness that it is exhibiting, it thinks it is his. For that moon, we say we need to go to class and listen properly. Science class. Same way, Vedanta also says, Tad Vijnana Artam Sa Gurumeva Avigachet Samit Panihi Sotriyam Brahmanishtam. Go to a teacher, Tadviddi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Sevaya. Krishna says also, go to a teacher and learn this. Oh, I can learn myself by reading. Okay, go ahead and do it. You will be utterly confused. That's why a teacher is required. Not only a teacher of Sampradaya. Sampradaya means a traditional teacher. Who is a traditional teacher? Traditional teacher is the one who himself learned from his traditional teacher. Simple. That's what called Guru Parampara. And also, he learned how to teach also. The methodology of teaching, so that he can communicate the knowledge crystal clearly for those with a prepared mind. Okay, every word I'm using. So that is what the traditional, anywhere in Chinmaya mission, go there, you get the same thing. They're not going to tell you anything different. Anywhere I can guarantee. Why? That's the tradition that passed down by the Gurudev. Now, what is the purpose of my coming here, or why you're coming here? Why are we studying here? Because I am confused. Why? Number one, I'm looking for happiness where it's not there. Number two, I don't know what my purpose of my life itself is. And I want only my children to learn. How can children learn if you don't know how to do? So my parental responsibility as a father is to pass on that knowledge that the generations have given to the next generation. That becomes what is called also Pitruruna, also Acharya Runa. Because we are born fortunately in a tradition where these greatest scriptures have been handed over. And Shankara calls it, this is real science. So they just now introduced Sadaji is this, Sadaji is that, and all that, which I am not. Why? Because Sadaji is this, how can I be this? I am a subject and this is an object. Anything, this is not me. Of course, for transactional purposes, I had to play the dream. So he's a king playing in the role. He's not really king, he's only an actor playing in the king role. Because he has to play the role. So I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a father, I am this. These are the roles that I have to play. As long as I am in this stage, I had to play properly. But never forget, I am an actor playing these roles. If I forget that I am really an actor, but I am a king, and come out of the stage and dictate I am a king and king, they will put me in the hospital, right? I am a king only in that scene, in that role. So I am an employee in the employee position. When I come to office, I am no more employee. I bring all my office work here, worry about it. I go to office and worry about my family. What is, we are playing a role. So I am playing a king and next time I am a beggar in the next scene. I cannot play the role of a king there. I have to play what the role is. Role playing is not a problem. Roles will have a problem, but I don't have a problem. I am an actor going there. I am just giving you an example because the life is a drama of life. We have to live. Life becomes so beautiful if I know how to play. Ups and downs, that's a part of the drama. Okay, today I've been kicked left and right, but that's a part of the drama. If I can kick back, that's also part of the drama. Vedantin doesn't mean that you're going to be a doormat for everybody to step on. But know what you're doing, the purpose. What is my central purpose of my life itself? Never forget that. And that only we need to know by studying of scriptures. Oh, we already learned the Gita. We are only sitting here because we don't have anything else to do. Children are there. How long I had to study Gita? So someone went to Gurudev and said, Swamiji, we have finished 17 times we studied Gita. We went through 17 times Gita. Gurudev looked at him. Okay, next time let the Gita enter into you. So how long I had to study? Until that question of how long itself drops out. Because scripture says, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. Tavya means you have to do. Shrotavya, listen to the teaching for a prolonged length of time under a competent teacher. And I define already competent teacher, who himself studied from another competent teacher. And Shankara calls it Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Faith means it's clear understanding. What is Shraddha? Shastrasya, Guru Vakyasya, Satya Buddhyavadarana Sa Shraddha. In the Vivekachudamani says, what the scripture says and how the teacher explains to you, all that is true. However, as a working hypothesis. Any scientist, no scientist will work unless he has some goal in mind. He assumes that his hypothesis and works for it. Even if he's wrong, he eliminates and puts a new hypothesis. No failure in science, you know that, right? He reports that I did it and did not work, so I am doing this also. So the other people don't do that way. Same way. Until it's crystal clear, have to listen, reflect on the teaching, mananam, and contemplate on the teaching, because everybody studies. So I know how many people know J. Krishnamurti. How many people heard of J. Krishnamurti? Okay, few people. And he says, it's not an understanding as a thought, but it's an understanding as a fact. And Gurudev used to tell a beautiful story of Mr. Jones and the rat. How many people have heard Mr. Jones and the rat? Oh, one person. Okay, Mr. Jones suddenly thought he is a rat. Don't ask, when did he start thinking? From the beginning, as far as we are concerned. So since he is a rat, whenever he sees a cat, he was hiding in a closet because he is a rat. He is afraid of a cat. His wife saw this problem. So took Mr. Jones to a psychologist. So psychologists, they charge very heavily. So every session says, man looks like this, you look like this, rat looks like this, you don't look like that, you are not a rat. He went through so many sittings and Mr. Jones understood what? He is a man and not a rat. So wife was happy, doctor was happy, Mr. Jones is also happy. They came back home. And when he came home, to his horror, there's a cat sitting there on the entrance. Mr. Jones was worried. Immediately he ran back to the doctor. Doctor said, "Why are you back?" Because cat was sitting. "But you know you are not a rat, you are a man." "Sir, I understood. I am a man. But I'm not sure whether cat understood that I am a man or a rat." It's an understanding as a fact, not as a thought. Until then, the Vedanta has to sink in. Only way it sinks in constant contemplation. And once you understood Gita, then it becomes a reflecting, making you think more and more in that. It becomes a sadhana and means for you to recognize right there as the teaching is going on. It helps you to so. So how long I had here? Lifelong. But for that, one has to understand clearly what exactly the scripture is pointing out and what exactly is the truth and why we are here. There may be different teachers coming here, but the essence is what it is. And why there's a problem in appreciating this simple, profound truth, yet we are not able to appreciate. Just as we know there's no happiness outside, I'm sure after the class is over, everybody will be going in search of happiness. Simple fact. Habits die hard. Mind is tuned to that. How to bring the mind back. So that's why Krishna talks about the highest philosophy in the very second chapter. And how a sage gives, how he lives. And he defines the sage. In the very first sloka, he says, what is the realized person? Look. It says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmaniyeva atmana tushtaha. It's called Sita Prajna. One who is realized master is one. He has no more desires to search for happiness anywhere because he knows the happiness. He is the source of happiness. Why do you have to go in search of this? If it comes, okay. If it doesn't come, also is okay. Because he is self-contented as he is. So, Prajahati kaman sarvan kaman. All desires are gone. Desires to get happiness from outside. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is reveling in himself by himself. Therefore, he is happy as he is. Other things come, other things don't come. Not that he is avoiding something. He has no hatred. Vita raga bhaya krodaha sitadhir muni muchyate. There is no ragam, bhigam, no attachments, no that one. All have become just a playground. Life becomes a play, beautiful play, a fantastic play, provided we know how to play. It becomes, otherwise it is miserable. Yes, he is hitting me. Oh, that's also part of the play. You hit back if you can. So we will all discuss this in a way, systematically, and that's the very purpose of attending. So bring your friends also. It's not just the Balavihar programs. This is why youth programs separately intended for study of the scriptures, and that is the purpose of the Chinmaya mission also. With that, I will stop and we'll do prayers now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.